Altos is brought to you with the kind compliments of Rituals Coffee House.
Good evening and welcome to Altos, a weekly news and current affairs program produced by the Catholic News and broadcast on Trinity TV and TTT. I'm Raymond Sims. Our top stories this week. Todd's Road Roman Catholic School in a pilot project to protect their heritage. It's an initiative of the National Trust Heritage Keepers Program. A large gathering of clergy and lay leaders meet in Mayaro to discuss pushing the synodality process forward to better support local communities. His Grace announces cashless contributions in 6 churches. It's a pilot project that he hopes will make stewardship safer and easier. Venezuelan migrants have been speaking to Altos about the $700 registration fee. And later we have in studio Lisa Sami, founder of the group Journey to Recovery TT, as we discuss the NLCB's introduction of gaming on a Sunday. Children of the Todd's Road Roman Catholic School in central Trinidad will be capturing their community's cultural and historical treasures as they participate this term in the Trinidad and Tobago National Trust Heritage Keepers Program. The program has the endorsement of the Catholic Education Board of Management and is expected to roll out at 2 other RC schools. Lara Pickford-Gordon tells us about this initiative that enables children to preserve their local heritage.
The Heritage Keepers Program is a youth program of the National Trust designed to inspire heritage education and stewardship among young people. Joseph Bertrand, Education and Outreach Officer, National Trust of Trinidad and Tobago, said a site visit was conducted on January 26 to Todd's Road RC and 2 other schools in central Trinidad to discuss the program.
It was important for us to visit the area because of the rich history that the Brasso area and that Todd's Road area has with our train system. So this connector that really connects each of these schools together, we would then be able to create this larger project later down using local heritage and the local heritage assets surrounding the school or the youth group to engender pride in the heritage sites, foster heritage societies, and also to foster heritage professionals.
Classes from infants to Standard 5 will take part in the pilot, which will be implemented during the term. Bertrand said there will be constant contact with principal, teachers, and parents as the project is developed and improved. Bertrand asserted that a deep relationship with heritage and heritage assets begins in youth.
What are the heritage spaces that our youth are operating in now? How are they viewing the heritage sites today? How are they interacting with the heritage assets today? And what experiences we can give them or curate for them so that they can appreciate the heritage sites of today so that it can be sustained.
2 other schools, Brasso and Tabakit RC, are being considered for the pilot. This is Lara Pickford-Gordon for Catholic News, Altos.
Every year, the priests of the Archdiocese of Port of Spain gather for fellowship and formation. This year, the gathering took place in Mayaro from January 26th to the 30th. Altos reporter Kaylan Jordan has more in this report.
Pastoral leaders, representatives of the religious, deacons and commission members join members of the clergy for a week-long synodal journey in Mayaro in late January. A total of 85 participants attended. Facilitating the retreat was Father Peter McIsaac, Director of Synodal Transformation in the Archdiocese of Port of Spain. He guided clergy and lay leaders through reflections on parish priorities, communal discernment, and transforming parish structures to better support local communities.
The outcome was very positive.
Father McIsaac says the focus now moves from reflection to action as parishes across the Archdiocese begin engaging the synodal process.
Parishes will participate in local and archdiocesan synod formation programs designed for deepening spiritual growth, transformation of structures and decision-making processes at the parish and ecclesial community level.
That work will also involve parish communities identifying their own priorities and contributing to a wider pastoral vision.
This will then be discerned and integrated into a vicariate pastoral plan and united in a common vision and mission for the Archdiocese.
For many priests, the retreat offered space for reflection and renewal.
In order for us to go out, we must assess charity beginning at home, ways that we are loving and charitable to each other, and that could be a powerful witness to be disciples.
After my arrow, I think I want to just continue to listen and to personally self-empty, to discern with the community, and to also build relationships.
It's a great lesson to take back, that we might prioritize all the baptized, understanding that the Spirit moves and works in all of them, that each person has an insight from God's Spirit.
I am Kaylan Jordan reporting for Catholic News, Altos.
While he does not agree with the monetary charge for persons accessing the government's immigration registration framework, General Manager of the Catholic Commission for Social Justice, Father Stephan Alexander, said that even before any fee, the state has responsibility to protect all within the country's borders. Altos reporters Lara Pickford-Gordon, Kaylan Jordan, and videographer Dale Cedeno got different perspectives on the registration exercise for Venezuelan migrants.
Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander, at a January 22nd post-cabinet media briefing, announced the start of registration of all undocumented migrants from January 30th with a $700 fee attached. Migrants receive a registration card which is valid for the 2026 calendar year. Our registration framework in 2019 was open to only Venezuelan migrants. Speaking to Altos, General Manager of the Catholic Commission for Social Justice, Father Stephan Alexander, said Trinidad and Tobago is a signatory to the 1951 Convention on the Status of Refugees and its 1967 Protocol. While he did not want to cast blame on any administration, he observed a failure to act.
I think if we look at the Constitution, if we look at human rights, law, etc., we see that states have a right to protect all persons within their geographical borders. And I think if the state were to enact legislation that would give effect to the refugee and asylum protocols, that would be a major step in the right direction.
Father Alexander said Venezuelans flee their country, sometimes in very dangerous circumstances, and arrive without anything. They then have no legal recourse to employment or social services. He said those who do work have to be looking over their shoulder and are paid much less because of their undocumented status. He also has questions about the fee charged for registration.
And what does my charge indicating as to the person's ability to furnish that charge? I think that's another ethical question. My suggestion is not that the government is wrong for charging. My suggestion is that they should look prior to the decision to charge and to look at their responsibility to people and to life.
My colleague Kaylan Jordan has been speaking to one local nonprofit dedicated to supporting migrants, refugees, and asylum seekers, particularly from Venezuela.
Thank you, Lara. We're here at La Casita Hispanic Cultural Center, where migrants are receiving guidance and hands-on support to navigate the migrant registration framework. While the registration platform is in their native language, the process can still be overwhelming. Centers like La Casita Hispanic Cultural Center bridge the gap between policy and people, ensuring migrants understand the process and register with dignity.
Well, has a lot of fear. The registration process don't seem clear enough. Some of them feel they may be exposed to detentions.
Ventura Brown says fear is particularly acute among Venezuelan migrants, many of whom enter the country irregularly or already have deportation orders.
And that creates a lot of things. And because there's so much misinformation and rumors in the community, so it's really tough.
Since the platform opened from January the 1st, La Casita has seen a surge in requests for help, with dozens showing up daily seeking guidance.
As soon as the platform opened, there was a lot of people calling, texting to know what's going on. Saturday, we attended about 44 persons and then came face to face.
Language barriers remain a major challenge, especially for indigenous migrants whose languages are not supported by the Migrant Registration Framework portal.
The platform has different languages on it, but they don't have nowhere else. Those communities are the ones who don't have no documents, and we don't want to leave them behind.
Another concern is the $700 registration fee.
We're not against the payment. We don't believe it's high, it's acceptable, but you need to also put a plan for those vulnerable families.
The financial pressure has also opened a door for exploitation, with some individuals charging migrants to help them complete the process.
She also has people who taken advantage and trying to charge $200, $300 to do the process.
At the same time, she notes that others are charging small contributions simply to help families raise the $700 fee. And despite the challenges, some migrants who have already registered say the system was manageable.
For me, it's easy. Some question, for example, the date, it's hard. But the rest, I feel they say first day.
I am Kayla Jordan reporting for Catholic News, Altos.
The Archdiocese of Port of Spain has taken a bold step to make stewardship within the church safer, easier, and more accessible. Archbishop Charles Jason Gordon this week announced the introduction of Encash, which he described as a safe and simple way to make parish contributions via your mobile phone. The initiative, a digital wallet developed by Republic Bank, is being introduced as a pilot in 6 parishes. His Grace explained that there is no need to worry since the system has strong security and encrypted transactions.
Secure cashless platform allows contributions over your mobile phone device, thus making accessible to you how you normally do your daily business and how you do your daily payments. You're watching this video on your phone, most likely. This platform is going to come to 6 pilot parishes, and then we'll move out to others. We're starting with St. Mary's in St. James, St. Fimbers in Diego Martin, St. Joseph in Tobago, Our Lady of Perpetual Help in San Fernando, Santa Rosa in Arima, and St. Joseph in St. Joseph. This initiative is not meant to replace the sacredness of our worship. It's just meant to make it much easier for you to give your donations, your contribution, your stewardship to us. So we are asking you, as we do this, let us experiment together. Let's see how it works together. Give us great feedback. But we want to work with you to make your life much easier.
And there's more in this week's issue of the Catholic News on the pilot project concerning Encash. You know him as a singer in the church, a youth leader, and the composer of one of the songs for the Jubilee year. Now, Mark Howell Paul is preparing to step onto one of the biggest stages in local culture. An active member of the Our Lady of Perpetual Help Parish, San Fernando, he has qualified for the semi-final round of the National Calypso Monarch competition. The event takes place this Saturday at Skinner Park, right in his hometown. For Mark, the journey marks several exciting firsts. Altos correspondent Dale Cedeno spoke to Mark for this story.
The song is called Cry of a Young Man. It basically speaks to the heart of young men who yearn for the presence of male leadership in their lives. It seeks to address that by, calling for male leadership, strong male role models.
Qualifying for the semi-final round of the National Calypso Monarch competition is a major milestone for Mark Howell Paul. A musician, singer, songwriter, and producer, he entered the competition for the first time this year. Although he has worked behind the scenes on calypso projects before, this is his first experience stepping into the spotlight as a performer. While he's confident of his abilities, the news of the qualification came as a surprise to him.
It was a mix of disbelief, yet a slight dose of confidence, but also still kind of shocked because I'm new to this. Nobody really knows who I am. I would say I'm confident in my skill, but also there's still a little bit of doubt there. So it was just a mix of both.
Mark admits he was tempted to submit a different song for the competition, but staying true to himself was important. He credits Calypsonian Tiny Karine Williams-Figaro with inspiring the idea that eventually became his entry.
She basically told me I should enter and I should do a song about young men needing leadership, because no one really sings about those kind of things. That's not a topic that is really explored from the perspective of a male. When she said that, I kind of had to just go with it.
With this competition marking many firsts for Mark, he now sets his sight on Saturday's semi-final round, determined to deliver a performance that can carry him one step closer to the Calypso Monarch crown. I am Dale Cedeno, reporting for Catholic News, Altos.
We're going to a short break right now. When we return, we have an interview with Lisa Sami.
Well, I not agree. I don't like that Sunday gambling at all. That is a day you have to remain home and relax yourself. And as I go to church, who does go to church? You have school things to prepare, you know. Instead of you coming and gamble on a Sunday, no, you need a little rest from that.
Because I know I played up to just Monday to Saturday. But I want to know why they will bring it on a Sunday now, that's right. No, I don't think I'll be participating in it because I just take time for my moment, for my spiritualities and one thing. I take time to give a little thanks and praise to the Father. He taught me, I grew up in church, you see. Father, we have to go to church on a Sunday, you know. Can't go no other way. Times I go on the football field, we have to go to church there because if we ain't go to church, we get in a spanking.
My opinion is that I don't have a problem with it, and I don't think the majority of people in Trinidad have a problem with it right now. Because opening on a Sunday, all over the world already doing that for years now. So we just come like we now trying to pick up with the rest of the world. That's what's going on. And I don't think anybody will refuse any type of money, any kind of winnings on a Sunday. Nobody would refuse money on a Sunday because they don't refuse it no other day.
And we're back. Today we have with us Lisa Sami, Journey to Recovery Foundation, and we're talking in gambling. Thank you for coming on set with us, Lisa.
Thank you for having me.
My question is, you know that the government is going to be allowing gambling coming this Sunday. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, Raymond, as somebody that deals with persons who struggle with this addiction, what I can tell you is they definitely don't need more opportunities. More opportunities means more triggers. And for someone who is vulnerable, especially addicts, this is like offering gambling every day. It's like addiction on repeat. It's temptation on repeat. Now, before, when it wasn't offered every day, there's a break in behavior.
Right.
As we know, Sunday is that day for family, rest, reflection, a time when people go to church. Now, with it being offered every day, there's no time for them to rest and reflect on this. It's just continuous. Now, if we were to dig a bit further into this, when we look at the morals and values, right, that we are, as a society, is displaying for children to learn. They are up and coming, looking at the things that we hold in high esteem.
Right.
that type of behavior that we are teaching them, we are normalizing that behavior by saying it's okay for us to no longer keep the same traditions on a Sunday, but you know, it's a regular day. Now, because it's something that's going to be offered more, right? I think what needs to be done in alignment with that is that we have more education around it. We need to have more awareness. There needs to be more intervention, and there also needs to be more support.
Do you think, and I just got a thought, some in other countries, there are actually kind of like warnings at the bottom of ads whenever they say gambling, you know, so just be, you know, to people to turn to. Is Journey to Recovery Foundation an organization that people could turn to for help?
Oh, it certainly is, because what we want to do and the objective of Journey to Recovery is to get the message out there. People, a lack of knowledge can be the downfall of society. You know, when we aren't aware of the dangers, people could easily fall into traps.
Right.
So yes, Journey to Recovery supports education in a big way, promoting to people that there's support, there's a safe space that you can come to for people that struggle with this addiction.
A few weeks ago, we had a story on Altos about the possibility, talking about gambling addiction, right? And we also had it in the Catholic news. What are the signs people should look out for if there are, you know, people? I think they were saying that there's some schools they're seeing a rise in gambling.
Yeah.
What should people be looking out for?
That's a really good question, Raymond. And unlike other substance abuse and addiction, things like alcohol and drugs, you know, they're telling signs. You can smell alcohol. You can look at somebody physically and be able to know if they've used.
But you can't tell that with gambling.
Right.
No.
So that's why it's referred to as a hidden disease and a hidden illness. Because in a lot of the cases, it's not until sometimes people reach rock bottom that you discover they've had this problem. But there are some signs that you can look out for. To understand when it's moving from a place of being recreational into a place of being compulsive, you look for behaviors and things like the person becoming occupied fully. So they neglect their responsibilities. So let's say before they had a particular behavioral pattern, they would pick up their children from school or they would be involved in certain activities. That pattern breaks. And now they're fully consumed because all their time it's now focused on thinking about the gambling. So patterns, you look out for patterns. You look out for them borrowing money from friends and family. And let me tell you, there's some of the people that can give you the best excuses, right? So you get all sorts of excuses. So you look out for that financial distress as well. You look out for bills going unpaid for periods of time because all they consumed with is
finding the money to go and gamble.
Finding the money to go gamble.
All right. What are the economic factors that could lead somebody to want to go down this path?
I want to start by saying, you know, people think that people who gamble, it's only about getting the money. But in the sessions that we have, you know, a lot of the times we sit across from people, and when we dig deeper into that conversation, we find out, yes, there's an economic part, but there's a much deeper part to it where people are sustained in this type of addiction or behavior because of trauma, because of them trying to cope, sometimes simply with life stresses. So the deeper we dig, we find out that yes, economics is a reason. So sometimes people are in vulnerable positions where poverty and things like this, they don't have the resources to meet their expenses. Sometimes they have financial debt, and one might think, well, if somebody is in debt, why would they gamble? Well, I'll tell you that debt sometimes actually intensifies the gambling.
Lisa, we've come to the end of our short, brief interview. I know you have a lot of information to share. If somebody wanted to find out, to help a family member, how do they contact Journey to Recovery Foundation?
Right. So anybody that wants to reach out to us, we do have a website. It's www.journeytorecovery.
And all the contact information is there.
All of the contact information is there. We're also on TikTok and Facebook. Right. So what I want to share is that addiction grows in silence, and recovery heals with support. So reach out if you do have a problem.
All right. Thanks very much, Lisa.
Thank you
for coming on set with us.
Thanks for having me.
We've been speaking with Lisa Sami of Journey to Recovery Foundation, dealing with the whole issue of gambling addiction. We'll be right back. In this weekend's issue of the Catholic News, Pope Leo XIV issues his first message for the World Day of the Sick on February 11th. Financial columnist Finbar Garcia offers advice on acquiring a house. Do you have a cold or flu? There are virus busters you can grow in your garden, says our Green Thumb columnist Rihanna Boudram. Economist Dr. Marlene Axe is an independent senator in the parliament. She reflects on the recent public debate on the zones of special operations. General Manager of the Catholic Commission for Social Justice, Father Stephen Alexander, offers a gospel response to recent police-involved shootings. And Archbishop Charles Jason Gordon says discipleship is foundational. He explores the importance of formation. Here are the clergy anniversaries for the coming week. I am Raymond Sims, editor of the Catholic News. Thanks for staying with us. You are watching Altos. Father Matthew Ragbear, a familiar voice on the Book Read digital platform and general manager of the Catholic Religious Education Development Institute, or CREDI, celebrated 10 years of priestly service on January 30th. It was a significant celebration in the local Catholic community, as Father Matthew is a priest known for his deep pastoral work and national family life advocacy. Here's Kaisha Best with more.
The celebration at the Church of the Assumption, Maraval, on February 1st, brought together family, friends, and communities from across the Archdiocese who have been part of Father Matthew's journey. His grace highlighted the priest's remarkable growth, saying he has moved from a rigid understanding of church law to a deeply compassionate ministry.
Father Matthew knows the people that the rules are applied to, understands the complexity of their lives, weeps and mourns with them in their brokenness and standing in between all sorts of wonderful places, and has capacity to keep the teaching ever in his mind, but to also show mercy and love and compassion to those who are most in need of the church's ministry.
Father Matthew expressed profound gratitude to his family, the Living Water community which formed him, and the parishes he served, especially the Sangre Grande cluster.
I love my vocation, my priesthood. It has not been easy, but it has been grace-filled. It has been an experience of being formed, molded, and remolded over and over on the journey. It is filled with many ups and downs, 3 steps forward and 2 steps backwards, sometimes 2.5 steps back, but always trying with everything that I am.
Father Matthew thanked his fellow priests and mentors for their support through the often unspoken struggles of clerical life. I am Kaisha Best for Catholic News, Altos.
And that's a wrap on our show for another week. Thank you for viewing. Remember to continue praying for Trinidad and Tobago, read your Bible, and learn your faith. As we go, we leave you with the sweet percussion sounds of the Boom Boom Room of the Lavantil Rhythm section, as they gave a treat to the students and teachers of the Sacred Heart Boys RC School as part of their carnival celebrations. The students were also given bandanas, fans, and backpacks. A great time was had by all. Enjoy.
Can somebody say Lavantil Rhythm section? Perfect. So make some noise and make a round of applause for Lavantil Rhythm section.
Altos was brought to you with the kind compliments of Rituals Coffee House.